From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Hi, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV, of course, at Tommy Max, brought to you by our good friends at TruckCrashLaw.com, as well as The Carpet Man. Well, I am surrounded by ladies in this show today, and we're going to talk about women, which, you know, I'm a big fan of, so let's get into it. Deb Boelkes is back. Hi, Deb. How are you?
I'm terrific.
Welcome back to the bar.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so as a lady who has done very well in what you do, of course, with leadership and getting people ready, you know, you got to feel pretty empowered, right, to help people.
Absolutely.
I don't know, look, men and women team, we're all the same, aren't we, to a certain degree?
To a certain degree, we're all people.
We are all people.
We all have issues and feelings and
that's true.
beliefs. But one of the things I would say about women is we tend to underestimate ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we tend to be a little more afraid to step out there and try something new.
Okay.
Versus guys, let me in there, coach.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're a little more timid.
Yeah, you guys are a little more emotional too, but we'll get into that because I have good girls at home. I'll get into it. Nancy Hogshead is back. Hey, Nancy, how are you?
Good.
Are you still swimming? Do you work out in the pool
No, I do
anymore?
work out, of
But
course.
not in the pool?
But yeah. Like, I know what it's supposed to feel like, and it feels like, you know, not that. You know, it's supposed to be like I'm kissed by God, and
That's right.
And it's effortless and beautiful, and no.
Those first like 10 minutes are brutal, aren't they, when you're swimming?
Yeah, like anyway. So, like, if you can't do swimming a lot, then you don't do swimming.
And you're a big advocate for women, as
I'm a huge advocate for women. And what I would tell, like, your generation, and what I tell your daughters is never underestimate the power of sexism. So I thought by this time in my career at age 61, that we would have moved much further down the road to equality and all the ways when you were saying, like, oh, get out there and be brave. And too often we blame women for the fact that, like, society's like pounding on them all the time with, we're going to get here, but with what they look like, what they, you know, whether or not they're smart enough, whether they're talking too much, blah, right? We pound on women and make their success much more difficult. So never underestimate.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And go and do it now.
Yeah, do it. Don't be afraid.
Do it now.
Do it now.
What's the worst
I say let it
that
rip.
happen?
Let it rip.
Right.
That's right. What's the worst that could happen
Well,
if you
you
get
do
out
need to
there?
be prepared.
Well, you don't want to go
right?
out on the gold medal team if you've not.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you got to earn that one. You might have to earn that one.
I want to train for a bit.
Thanks. Parul Patel, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Avesa Partners, okay.
That's right.
You're in the leadership group too, right? Are you trying to get people to help with
Leadership,
early stage
strategy, innovation, early stage nonprofits,
Cool.
you name it, across the board.
How long have you been doing that for?
25 years.
All right.
So don't let looks fool you.
I am hear me roar.
That's right. Like, because I might look like I started at 13, which is why I've been able to stay so young.
There you go.
Right.
Nice.
That's right. But I totally appreciate everything that you've shared around it, and I will say that having been in the consulting industry for 25 years, where when I started it was dominated by men, and I started in product and engineering, manufacturing, which is always you walk in the room and you're that lonely person, and I'll tell you, I was able to get a seat at the table, and so for all of the women, when you get a seat at the table, use your voice.
That's right.
That's that is the most important thing that you can do. Like, once you earn it, because sometimes I think we feel like I've earned my seat at the table, and so I'm good.
Right.
But you know what?
No,
like, once you earn it,
Right.
that's the beginning.
And then they want to hear
want
from
to
you.
really
They want to hear what your perspective is. That's why you're there.
That's
right.
right.
So
Right, and but they say that it's harder for women to actually advocate for women until they get to be about 30% at the table, right? Or same thing with people of color, same thing with LGBT.
that's what they say. That's what they say, and I'm sure that's what, there's a number of studies with data that's out there. I can only speak from my own experience. So I've been a person of color in a room of just me of color. I've been a woman in a room of just me and men, And I will tell you that if you ignore the fact that you are of color, that you are whatever gender you are, it doesn't matter. If you've got something good to say, use your voice, say it.
Damn right.
Everyone else will listen.
And you're one of the team.
That's right.
You're not over here.
No,
you're
right.
one
You're
of the
part
team.
of it.
You're there on purpose.
Absolutely. Jackie's here. Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, hi
How
there.
are you? You're a health
Doing
coach?
great. I am, yes.
All right. Congratulations. How's that
thanks.
going?
Oh, it's life-changing.
I heard you say as we were getting ready to go on air that no diets. This is more lifestyle and how
Absolutely.
What's the old saying? My wife says all the time. You don't live. You eat to live. You don't live to eat.
Absolutely.
Right? Isn't that a good one?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
I am completely anti-diet culture.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like women have been made to have this idyllic like body and shape, and it just is really not how I want my 2 daughters to grow up.
Right.
And for future generations as well after
Yeah,
them.
we got to be comfortable in your skin.
Absolutely.
Whatever the mirror shows you, you got to be comfortable in that. If you want to change that, then change it. But if you're comfortable in it, then you should be all right.
Honestly, that's exactly
Easier
why.
said than done.
It is easier said than done, but that's actually why I got into it. I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with how I looked.
Okay.
And I was about 30 pounds heavier.
Okay.
And I had both my daughters, and it wasn't like I could say, oh, it was baby weight. It was years past. It was like 5 years past. And so I said, all right, well, I need to look into this. And everything was eat less, exercise more.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense, right? Like
you want to eat more when you exercise.
Right, exactly.
You get hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Your
totally.
metabolism is revved up. You're like, I need food.
Yep.
And so I found macronutrients and intermittent fasting, and it's been a game changer. And I work with over 250 clients now, men and women, predominantly women. But it's been amazing.
That's great. All right, so we're going to throw it out to the panel. But just as a husband and a father of 3 girls, and my wife has her own business too. It's funny, like more times than not, even with my daughters, I'm like, just say it. Like you have every right to speak your opinion. First of all, you got me to back you up, so don't worry about anything.
Exactly.
But say what you feel. Like don't be afraid to say what you. I don't care if you're talking to another woman, if you're talking to an employer, a student, a teacher. I don't care who you're. Say what's on your mind, as long as it's respectful. Right. I mean. I'd say it if they were all boys. I'd say the same thing. Stand up for yourself. You're allowed to stand up for yourself and speak your opinion. All right, so what's the message? And let's start with you, Jackie. What's the message? You have 2 of your daughters here.
Yeah.
What's the message to girls all around the world? What would you, if you had a chance, what would you say to them?
Show up scared.
Okay.
Show up scared. Just keep going one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. It's really intimidating to be in a male-dominated world, but as a female, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like mindset is 90% of the game, right?
Totally.
Like what you say in between your ears.
Totally.
And so just show up scared. And then my biggest piece of advice to my daughters, which was my dad's biggest piece of advice to me, was fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with that saying. It's how I've lived my life and how I've gotten to where I am today. And I will teach that to my girls day in and day out, because once you're there, you feel like you belong.
Confidence is everything, right? I think with health and fitness, that can breed confidence.
Absolutely.
Right? 'Cause if you feel good, everything's gonna be good for you.
Feel good, look good, then you
look sharp and play sharp. My old football coach used to say, right? Absolutely. Parul, how about you? What would you say to women all around the world?
Well, I would building on a little bit of what you're talking about around the fake it till you make it. I think true for sure, but I think one of the things that I like to share with my kids, and I have 3 boys. And so we're always playing football and soccer and doing all of those things. But the thing that I think women do better than a lot of other people do, that we should take advantage of and that anyone should do, is we are really empathetic. If you walk into a room, leverage that empathy and your ability to listen and connect with people to your advantage, because that will take you so far in life that
people want to be heard.
People want to be heard, and they want to be seen, right?
Yeah,
so every person wants to be. I like to say every person wants to be seen, heard, and accepted for who they are.
That's right.
If you have the ability to do that, and you can do it, which women are very good at that, you will rise to the top fairly quickly.
That's right. Nance, what about you? You've done it all. You're still doing it. Like, what do you tell them?
I would say, like, that I'm going to jump off of what both of you said, which is that that you need to create a community that really has your back.
Yep.
So you're the community that supports your 3 daughters, right? Like I've got your back. So you go out there and try, and if you fail, don't worry, right? So my parents totally had my back. If I failed, I was going to be okay. But I have a group of peers, I'll tell you, just in this issue of transgender athletes, like I've gotten canceled by people that were at my wedding that I sent baby gifts to, that but I've got this very strong group of women who completely have my back. So make sure that those relationships that you have in all these different communities, whether it's other lawyers or your law school friends or your college friends or your whatever, right? Make sure that you've got people who have your back.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, and Deb, I'll give you the last one. I'll tell you this as far as failure goes. And we've all had it in our lives, but everybody goes through it. I mean, I've had some of the most successful people sit here and be like, man, everything you touch is to go. And they'd be like, no, you should have seen all my misses. You should have seen all my losses, the ones that I failed at and had to learn. Man, woman, whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody goes through that, right? You got to learn from those failures and learn from your successes as well. Deb, final word, girl. What do you think?
Love it. I would say, like what you have said, one of the most important things is to be yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't try to be someone you're not. And I'll tell you, as somebody who has coached and mentored CEO women, when they would walk in to start with, they always were putting on this suit, this air that they were just so together and so with it. And underneath it all, when you really start talking, we're all the same.
Yeah.
We really don't believe enough in ourselves. We're scared, as you say, so you have to just show up. Yeah. But also, the empathy, we do that naturally. That's right. Go in and be who you are, which makes you part of the team. And just be, what is it you can do best?
Right.
And don't hide that. It's important to know what your strong suits are, what you naturally do well. Those are the things you are naturally good at, are the things that you are going to be the best at. And you can really deliver for your organization or your team, or if you're all by yourself as an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Be yourself, leverage that, and everybody will love you if you do that.
That's right. Fantastic. Ladies, thank you so much. Cheers to all of you. Seriously, that was great. Appreciate that. Hey, all conversations welcome at this bar. And all I'd say is this, let it rip out there, man. Get your stuff together, work on yourself, feel confident, and then go for it. And if you do fail, just learn from the failures and get up. And I'll do the Rocky speech if you want me to, but we don't have any time. We got to go. Hey, if you want to check out more conversations, check them out at iwannabuzz.com. So until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. And we'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.